Welcome to Blade HQ, everybody. We are back from SHOT Show, and we have the first new knives video we've done in a few weeks, and there's been a lot that has come out in the meantime. So we're gonna jump right into it with the BRS E-Volve Apache button lock. Now, we just actually shot a little short about most underrated knives, and I put this one on there because for right around 65 for the stonewash version and the black version with 70. This is a Blade HQ exclusive, by the way, with the white G10 handle. For right around that price, you're getting a very smooth button lock flipper action. And I personally love a good button lock flipper. I find them very fidgety. And I like this one a lot. In fact, I have one and I brought it home and my wife immediately claimed it because it fit in her pockets. It is a small enough and short enough that it'll fit in a woman's pocket. It has a pretty unoffensive pocket clip as well. If you want a rocket stormtrooper like this, then my compliments to the chef, but I might take this to some Rit dye, maybe do a fade like pink to purple or green to blue or something. I don't know, something fun. The world's your oyster with a white G10 handle. And I love this thing. And I think the reason they did the pivot so well is because BRS is known for making balisongs, which means they know how to do a pivot just right. And they knocked this out of the park, and it still fits a nice finger grip, a really great knife, and a really great price for a great knife as well. Next up, we have the Squid Industries SquidTrainer V4. So you've seen the SquidTrainers before, and I really appreciate the updates they did. One of the things I love is they put these double-sided Torx heads, so you can really tune the balisong however you prefer it, and it flips just like every squid, but it doesn't cost as much as every single squid out there. This one goes for $175, comes in a bunch of different colors. Another feature I really like is these weights in the handle. They really carry the weight of the handle through your flips. Whatever trick you're doing, it's gonna carry it well. This is a great platform to learn on, especially if you're wanting to get into competition balisong flipping, because my goodness, is this nice. And for less than $200, I don't know that you could get a better trainer. Next up, we have the Bestechman Ronan. Now the Bestechman line is sort of their budget-friendly line for the entry-level knives, but this does not feel like an entry-level knife. It has the crossbar lock that is super fidgety. This is one of the better ones I've held because the spring is just tight enough so that it'll resist you, but it's not gonna like fly back. And then it locks up very solid every single time. No play side to side, none up or down. And what I love is this blade. This is a 14C28N blade, one of my favorite steels, and this 3D contour G10 handle. And it has this lanyard hole, and I've been seeing a lot more of these, and I really appreciate it. So the lanyard tube here, instead of going through the handle, comes through the backspacer, and this offers some advantages. And the advantage, the main being, is I believe it gives you the right to disassemble. So say you take this Elementum here and you put a lanyard here, if you ever want to truly get your scales apart, you're gonna have to untie your lanyard or cut it off. But on a knife like the Ronan here, you can put your lanyard here, and when you take the knife apart, it'll just lift off and you can pull the lanyard out and then put it back when you're done. It gives you a right to repair, a right to clean. I really appreciate seeing that. And if you don't like lanyards, like a lot of people don't, it leaves a very clean appearance for the knife for the rest of the time. A really great choice, and especially at its price of $52, you can't go wrong. Next up, going from a budget line up to the premium sphere, we have the DPx HEST F 3.0. So this is made by Lion Steel in Italy. Has an M390 blade and a titanium frame lock, and I love what they've done with the texture here. A nice checkering. It almost reminds me of like a gun stock. Steel lock bar insert, reversible pocket clip, and it's made by Lion Steel, but it's a DPx, which is, and their designs are definitively tactical. But I could see myself every day carrying this just because it's built like your finest cutlery ever made. Really a nice knife, very tactical. And it has this little bottle opener that I imagine you could snag on your pocket if you were feeling it, but really great knife. Next up, we have the Demko Freereign. So before we talk about the knife on this one, I want to talk about this sheath. So the sheath is cool because it is a patent pending mechanism that Andrew Demko came up with. And Andrew Demko is one of my heroes in the knife industry because of his fresh take he finds on things where he sees problems that we didn't even think about and then solves them. And many of them involve sheaths. So on a Kydex sheath, like say this one, it's folded over, it's riveted down, it's very strong, but if you get dirt or mud or something in here, you gotta like get in there with a pipe cleaner or a toothbrush or whatever, and that'll clean it out. But this one, not so. You just pop these screws off, and then these side pieces will come off and the entire sheath will come apart. And you can deep clean it, throw it in the dishwasher, whatever you're doing. When you put it back together, you still have that nice snap fit, just like a Kydex sheath would give you. Anyway, really a cool sheath. And then here's the knife. And I was talking to Ben, he's a camera guy, he's over here, he's doing camera switch. He's not able to talk with us today, but he loves the Demko Freereign because it reminds him of a snowboarding situation. This is kind of matches the branding of a lot of snowboarding gear in terms of its colorways and all that. But if you're backcountry snowboarding, you might find yourself getting caught in trees or getting tied around fences or whatever. And a knife like this can help you get out of sticky situations, but it securely fits itself nicely. You can put it on the outside of your pack, you can put it on your leg, whatever you're doing. Easy to run with, and an AUS 10A blade is stainless, so if you get snow in there or whatever, it's not gonna hurt you. Now, I'm not much of a winter sports person. I know I live in Utah. All the skiers hate me for that, but I could see this just being a great outdoor camping knife. That stainless steel is gonna be very low maintenance, not gonna have to worry too much about it. And it's AUS 10A, which I really like for its toughness. As a stainless, it's a hard-working steel, and I really appreciate that about it. I could see myself batoning with this or whatever. Got a nice sharp spine too. You wanna scrape a ferro rod or maybe pick some curls off of your fat wood to catch a spark. Whatever you're doing, I think the Demko Freereign can run with it. And for $150, you really can't go wrong. A lot of innovation, a really great design name behind it, a great warranty behind it, and just a great knife all around. Next up, the Elementum II. So you're gonna look at this and think, hey, that looks a lot like an Elementum. And that's my favorite thing about the Elementum II is it is very much an upgrade to the original Elementum, but it is faithful to the original Elementum as well. So I have my Desert Warrior Elementum here, but you can see this one is the Elementum II is a little bit thicker, fills out the hand a little better. And the elephant in the room is that button lock. You can see there, gives you the same button lock mechanism we've all come to know and love. Man, have button locks become popular lately. Really a great little pocket knife, and my favorite feature they upgraded was this pocket clip. On the original Elementum, they had a deep carry pocket clip, but you can see the clip itself wasn't quite recessed. But this one goes into the scale all the way, giving you an uninterrupted flow right into the pocket. Comes in a bunch of different colors. I'd probably go for the all black one, but we've grabbed this natural G10 one. We think the jade looks nice. Great knife. And I'm excited because this is an upgrade all the way around. It's got 14C28N blade steel now, but still a nice slicey hollow grind. It's everything you love about the Elementum, just a little bit better. And that's what I love about Wii, is they're always pushing the boundaries. Speaking of pushing the boundaries, the Thug series. We've seen the Thugs in Wii, and we've all seen the Thug 2 in CIVIVI, but this is the Thug XL, a Matthew Christensen design. And I invented a word to describe this. This is the most thugnificent of the entire Thug line, in my humble opinion. And that's because I like the bigger handle. Fills out the hand really nicely. Got that same lanyard hole that we talked about on the Bestech, and it just feels nice. And the original Thugs are great. They're just a little bit small for my tastes. And what I love here is look at how distinctive this compound grind is. You can see the line from where the hollow meets the flat. A nice tanto, but the curved edge here slices very nicely as well. Titanium handle with this polished, almost hand-rubbed titanium finish here. A nice pivot collar. 20 CV blade. And these ones start at $299. And I remember a time when if you wanted an M390 blade or a 20 CV, similar steel, and a titanium handle, you were looking north of 500 easy. But now here we are at 300 and you're getting a very well done 20 CV blade and a titanium frame lock with a really great design behind it as well. Speaking of great designs from Wii and titanium frame locks, we have the Mini Nitro, or the Nitro Mini. I forget which goes first. This one's a carry design, and I really appreciate this lock. So I have a question for you all. I've been told this is called a bolster lock, but I've always called it a frame lock because in my mind, a bolster lock is like the swing bolster on a stiletto, an old Italian. So can I call this a bolster lock? Or is that disrespectful to the Italians who already borrowed it? I don't know. Let me know. I'd like to hear your opinions on it. But I really appreciate this knife in general because of these handle scales, which feel nice and warm, but they also sort of stand in for one of Theo's favorite features, being a over travel stop, which means you don't have to have so much pressure on your lock bar. And this is one of the easiest to actuate frame locks or bolster locks, TBD, that I've ever felt. It is effortless to unlock it. But when it's there, it's locked in place, it's not sliding anywhere. You get solid lockup in every direction. A really great knife with a milled pocket clip. And it comes in a selection of handle inlays. There's some carbon fiber models. I personally like the micarta. I think the brown and the black mix well, especially with the bronze anodized accents. The Mini Nitro, I really like this one. And it goes for $267.75 starting. You get a little more expensive when you get more expensive handle materials. But last knife on the table is the Toor Knives Darter. So I think Toor knives are really cool. They're very military inspired. In fact, I brought my personal Toor knife here. This is the Jank Shank. I got it mostly because that's my favorite name I've ever heard given to a knife. But this is a very tactical knife. And I got a little tape in there from cutting packages and whatnot. It definitely can find its way into other rolls. But I think this one is definitely the outdoors knife in the sort of tactical sphere. I feel like this one's sort of a natural growth of the Jank Shank, but without a ring. And I could see this being like an outdoor knife or whatever else you're doing. It's got these serrations on the top, you need to get through rope or whatever, and then it's S35 VN, so it's gonna hold a great edge. And this sheath. What I love about Toor knives is they don't go overboard with sheaths. Sometimes you get a sheath that's really wide and really bulky. Like, I made a joke that you could fry an egg on a sheath like that sometimes. With these ones, they are just barely enough to fit the knife in. And it holds nice and secure, but it's not gonna weigh you down. It's not gonna get in the way of stuff. It's not gonna snag on doors as you walk by. And this one's sort of a choose your own adventure. You can lash it to your gear, get an ulti clip, do it on your belt, whatever you're up to, the sheath can do it too. Very good retention, very good build, USA made from really great people over at Toor. And check out all the Toor knives at Blade HQ. So that one goes for $350, comes with that G10 handle, and I like the black multicam on the sheath. Anyway, that is all the new knives on the table. That's a lot. It's been a lot of stuff going on. Like, there's a lot of new stuff at SHOT Show, and you'll be seeing it throughout the year. But I didn't realize there was so much cool stuff going on behind the scenes while we were gone. Anyway, thank you so much for watching today. Check out all these knives and more at BladeHQ.com, and we'll see you on the next one.